A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... He landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Aw! Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
Is there any better sunrise than an Italian sunrise? And is there any better return than a return to Monza? It's time for tape-delayed coverage of week number 4 of the 3rd season of 2024 for the Mission Art Challenge Top Split Strength of Field. We've got a handful of drivers who think they have what it takes to handle Monza here today. Just a tick over 3.5 miles and 11 turns for the Formula One Grand Prix circuit. And it is about to get underway here. Tommy Cook bringing you all the action as always here for the Mission Art Challenge here on Turn 200. Let's take a look at today's starting lineup here at Monza. It is Javier Mascara, winner here with the Daredevil Series at Monza Combined. He will lead the field of green with J.J. Wang starting to his outside. Shinya Inuzuka will start on the inside at row number 2 with James Watson lining up in 4th. Rebecca David and Isabel Matthews on row number 3. It's Royal Dumolder and Amy Grimmy on the 4th row. Ellis Spice and Larry Miles, your top 10 starters. Sean Bowman and Philip Yingling will start in the 11th and 12th, and Laura Hill will make up the 13th and final starter here on today's grid. And the grid is rolling here at Monza. Mascara and Wang headed towards the first chicane. It's Wang with the advantage if he can hang here on the inside. A little bit of bodying there, and Wang will make it through the first chicane with the race lead. And heading into the first real turn of the circuit, this fast, wide right sweeper. Here comes the field barreling in towards the first chicane. Or rather, the second chicane. Wang has the advantage. Most everybody makes it through here. It's Wang, Mascara, Watson, Inuzuka, and Davin right now, your top 5. Everybody headed up to Ascari. So far, everybody minding their P's and Q's. Philip Yingling and Sean Bowman have both gone down a spot. Laura Hill nearly up and into the top 10. As down the long straight into Parabolica. Everybody doing their best, staying on their toes. As here's some battling. DeMulder and Matthews here in the 6th and 7th positions. But it's Wang leading. Wow, nearly 3 wide. We are 3 wide back here. Goodness gracious, is that going to work? No, it is not. That's Ellis Spice on the outside. Some contact with Grimmy. And roll DeMulder into the first chicane. Back through turn 1 we go. Wang with a several car length advantage here. This battle rages on. This is Grimmy. Again looking to the inside of Spice, and there's contact, and Spice goes around. We will take a look at a replay here. Here's a look at this. Grimmy swings out. Oh, and Spice cuts in a little bit. Grimmy maybe a little bit too deep there. And the additional contact with Isabel Matthews. So Spice will come out of that. Still in the 10th position. They're battling behind him for 11th. That's Bowman and Hill going at it. Bowman will reclaim the position that he started this race in. But a long way to go here for Ellis Spice after not a great qualifying effort from one of the drivers we expect to be up front and winning races. We'll take a look now at this battle inside the top 5. That is Wang leading, Mascara in second, Watson, Inuzuka, and Dave in the top 5. Yeah, this is a 20-minute timed race. Apologies that our SDK does not work in replay mode, but we've got a top bar on there today to try and help things out just a little bit. Watson under fire. Inuzuka going to go for it here. This will put him on the outside for the majority. Wow, that is a massive, massive outbreaking there. And Inuzuka will slip into the podium positions now and move James Watson off of the bottom step. And why stop there? Shinny on Mascara here. Everybody kicking up dirt there on the inside of the first corner. Good battling behind them. That's DeMulder. Whoa, way out of shape there as Matthews will slip on by. We'll go back up to second. Mascara fended off Christopher Hill here in a Lotus 79. Speaking of which, the Daredevil Series is back on Wednesday. No Monza on this season's schedule. But here goes Inuzuka, and Shinny will move up to second now. Big place here. The problem for Shinny now is he's got 2 seconds up to JJ Wang. That is outside of the tow range. And he's also not far enough away from Javier Mascara. But Shinny has the pace. He has done a nice job up to this point. Davin sizing up a run here on James Watson, looking for fourth. Went a bit wide there through Parabolica. Battling behind them, that is still Matthews and DeMolder. They will go into the first chicane side by side and more contact there. And it's allowed Grimmy to close back up. So now it's a 3-car dance. Monza just never disappoints. Ever. Great racing up to this point and huge contact. That is a massive problem. Contact to Matthews, and Matthews is off and into the barriers hard. And here is a look at how that started. Here we go, Matthews here. Just trying to slip in, and yeah. That's jockeying for some prime real estate. Boy, that was, I think, Larry Miles that just barely squeaked through there. So DeMolder and Grimmy get away. Don't want to say scot-free, but certainly they have kept pushing forward. Meanwhile, back towards the front, Inuzuka is cutting in to the advantage of JJ Wang. Shinny is putting in good work here. Down to 1.7 seconds. That is a gain of 0.3 over the last lap. So Wang first, Inuzuka second. Mascara has slipped back in third. Watson still fending off Davin for fourth. Rebecca doing swell in P5. All 13 drivers still out on the track. As we're about 7.5 minutes into the race here. Big outbraking and outbroke themselves. Grimmy will lose that position back to DeMolder as Laura Hill gets some contact there from Ella Spice. First chicane is feeling feisty today. That is for sure. Matthews will head back to pit road. And we will have somebody out of this race after all. I mean, that was a pretty hard shot. I was surprised that they even made it back to pit road. Inuzuka, a second and a half behind, closing little by little here. If he can get to a second with these long straights, this car loves a tow. So if he can get to a second, he will be in it. But for now, just a marginal gain here, not even to the halfway mark of the race. So Shinny doing what he needs to do here in P2. He's got some distance back to Mascara. Watson putting some time on Rebecca Davin. It looks like is having some connectivity issues. We'll head back to this train here. This is 8th, 9th, and 10th. Grimmy leading Hill. Hill in front of Spice. Spice and Hill made some contact into the first chicane last time around. And Spice at least looking. Now we'll tuck back into line. Grimmy hung out. Oh, and another huge shot there. Spice sends Hill tumbling into, nearly into the median there of the chicane. I'm impressed that Hill hung on to that. That was a hard shot. I imagine Spice getting a little frustrated at this point after the race that Ellis has had. Whoa, Hill sliding, and Spice goes through the gravel trap there. These three putting on a great show back here. And this is for 8th, 9th, and 10th. We'll check back in on Shinya Inuzuka. Big gain this last lap for Shinya, 1.3 seconds behind now. And we're getting to the point where the slipstream might start to come into play. Shinya out of track limits there, but pushing hard. Has yet to win a Sunday top split race here on turn 200 in his limited appearances. Meanwhile, JJ, the three-time and defending series champ, I'd say he's won a couple of these. In fact, he won this race last season. This is Mascara's view as they continue to slip away in front of him. Back into the first chicane we go, and Hill has a look there on Grimmy, but it fades away. Spice not in the mix that time, although he is close by. Hill is getting after it there through the chicane. Spice digging hard. This is the closest battle we've got on the track, and it's a three-way battle. James Watson is getting encroached on again by Rebecca David. That is back under a second. Looking back up front, the gap has pretty much stabilized. It's still at right about 1.3 seconds where it was last time they went down the long straight. So we continue to head back here to Grimmy and Hill. Hill had it. Grimmy took it back. And now we start to snake. Maybe just a little bit. Headed towards the first chicane once more. Well across the halfway mark by this point. Grimmy. Tidy. Nicely done to hang on, but Laura Hill with good drive off. A huge surge there. Although this is an electric car, you don't get to choose your deployment methods, as there's a little elbow out driving. And here's a battle ahead of them as well. DeMulder under fire from Larry Miles. Quick look back here, and now it's Hill with the spot. And Spice potentially getting through now on Grimmy. So Ellis Spice up a spot, Grimmy back two. And all that hard work for Laura Hill and getting the back bumper beat off has finally paid off. Quick peek ahead. Shinya Inuzuka losing time now. 1.4 seconds to the race leader. No challenge from behind, as you can see. We'll take a quick peek back at this battle here as Larry Miles reeling in Roald DeMulder for the 6th spot. Can Larry do something here? Into the first chicane. We'll pull out to the left side. It's the long way around into the first section here. Sends it deep into the braking zone, but sets it up nicely Well done to Mulder, apparently with a slowdown or given some space. Either way, he will now be under fire very quickly here from Laura Hill. Just a few minutes left to go. 5 minutes here. That should be about probably 3 laps. Hill hot on the tail of DeMulder and a bit loose. Potentially a slowdown there. Gives up the spot to Ellis Spice. So Spice through without any issue. A quick look back ahead. And Inuzuka closing back in. 1.3 seconds. But again, that's as close as he's gotten. Pole sitter Javier Mascara riding in third. Watson back in fourth with plenty of space now. Back to Rebecca Davin in the top 5. Should be good I-rating days for them if they can hang on to it. Meanwhile, Miles well separated from DeMulder. Spice continues to try and charge forward, but Hill wants this spot back. And they're battling, no matter who comes out on top. Might cost them a chance at DeMulder for 7th. Oh, Hill. More contact. Getting used up here. But Spice will get through for now. Another chicane incoming. Meanwhile, Inuzuka has closed to within a second of the race lead. Oh, and Wang pushing it hard. Another lunge and another big slowdown over the curbing. Goes Hill. Look at the steering inputs there. You could see them from the angle we had. We'll go back up to the battle for the lead now because truly it is a battle now. 0.6 of a second. A gain of just about 0.6 of a second from this chicane last time around. JJ Wang is fighting this tooth and nail. Pushing the car way out wide. But Inuzuka will have a look. Should be 2 laps to go. We'll see if Barney the Flagman is going to be waving. Does not look like it this time. Inuzuka's here, though. 1/4 of a second. Just a couple of car lengths. Wang hanging on. Still battling just inside the top 10. Inuzuka is here. It's been a great drive up to this point. It's one thing to catch the 3-time champ. It's another thing to pass him. The weaving down the straight. We'll have another opportunity if he can get a good drive off. This is the final lap. Inuzuka will have one more shot at it here through the final turn. Shinny with a look. Trying to go JJ into a mistake. But JJ is the GOAT. Can he get enough of a toe down the front stretch to finish off a miraculous comeback? Across the line, it's JJ Wang hanging on for the win. what Inuzuka might have done with another lap. But JJ Wang, using the 20-minute time limit to his advantage, will take the win and remind people why he's the PMR GOAT. Great run for Inuzuka. Mascara from the pole will slip back to third. But JJ Wang, great defense. And here is a look at your full finishing rundown here. It's Wang with the win. Inuzuka, another podium here on the season. Javier Mascara, nice run in third. James Watson in fourth. Rebecca David will round out the top five. Larry Miles will finish in sixth. Good work there to get past Tim Mulder. Ella Spice then will finish in the eighth spot. Laura Hill in ninth. Amy Grimmy then will round out your top 10. Sean Bowman in 11th. Isabel Matthews at DNF. Or rather, Isabel did get back going once again. We'll finish in the 12th spot. And Philip Yingling then we'll finish in 13th. All drivers running at the end. Problems there for Matthews. And a lot of bumping and banging just outside of the top 10 as well. Well, that is all we got for you today. Thank you very much for joining us, and join us live here momentarily as it is time to go racing for the first time in Turn 200's time here with the Mission R Challenge Top Split Strength of Field broadcast at Sebring. Yes, indeed, Sebring for only the second time in Turn 200 history. Coming up here shortly. For everybody with the Mission R community, for the GOAT, Mr. Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long from Monza, and congratulations to JJ Wang on picking up week number 4 for the Mission R Challenge.